Hey, Bill, I'm about ready to head over to Eric Spinner's at the Pine Barrens, and he's had a big rash of juvenile Bigfoot sightings there. Very, very strange anomalies. I mean, we had him on the show. You and I interviewed him back in January. You know, he showed us the prints, he showed us the hair samples. What else should we be looking for?
Any biological material is important because it just shows you what type of animal or species this is, or human variant this is, but it also gives you a DNA map. Look for evidence that the creature can run very fast. You'd see that from the footprints. Mm-hmm. Look for evidence that the creature can jump. You'd also see that from the footprints and from the height of the broken tree limbs.
Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us.
You could be dealing with either a Bigfoot or a shapeshifter.
Wow.
Or a traditional werewolf.
In the meantime, stay safe. You and Nancy stay safe out there. And I will give you a full report when we get back from the field.
Yeah, you stay safe in the Barrens.
Oh, definitely. You got it, man.
Don't look a Bigfoot in the eye.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Thanks, bud. Thank you. Bye.
My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician, but by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team, travel the country investigating all things paranormal. This is Eric Mintel Investigates.
Hey everybody, Eric Mintel. We're here in Medford, New Jersey, right here at Health Haven 2, the home of Eric Spinner, Bigfoot researcher. We're going to go inside and talk with him about some of the major sightings going on here in New Jersey. Let's go. Eric Spinner.
Hey, Eric. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Elbow, bro. How you doing?
Getting better and better.
So we're here with Eric Spinner. He's co-founder of NASBRO, but also with Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. Huge Bigfoot researchers in North America. And a co-founder of NASBRO, which was a North American Sasquatch Bigfoot Research Organization. It's a mouthful. But you have been doing a lot of research in this area for years. Many years. And have gotten a lot of really great evidence. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Near where we're going to be going later is a set of juvenile tracks. And so that was back in 2008 when I came across that.
Wow.
But yeah, the juveniles, obviously if they're a breeding population, there has to be a breeding population in order for the species to exist.
Correct.
There's been numerous sightings of adult creatures with one or two offspring. And this also goes back to what we just found in New York. There was one track that was found, it was about 14.5 inches, and the other tracks were about 8.5 inches. So again, that falls right in line with this is 14.5 inches. Patty's is 14.5 inches. These are 8.5 inches. Again, what we look for though are specific things like there's no transverse arch like in a human foot. Okay? And the neat thing is, look how similar this.
Right.
I didn't get the big toe on this because the creature had their foot a little angled because they were avoiding detection. But look at the size comparison. This is extra casting material here. If the big toe was on this, 2, 3, 4, okay, the size of the depth, very similarities. This is West Coast versus East Coast.
And this was right here in the Pine Barrens.
And this is 2015, and this is 1967.
And then Eric, as far as the Pine Barrens go, right? I mean, we're really close, and you've got a lot of really interesting evidence there, and especially sounds, correct?
Sounds are one thing we've gathered, plus again, track impressions. These are from.
Do you think can we hear some of the sounds that you got?
Absolutely.
The sounds that we're going to hear. These are from the Pine Barrens. When did you get these?
These were from 2014, and they were recorded not far from where I'm going to take you.
Okay.
To show you the juvie sighting.
All right, great. So great. Let's get it up. Let's listen.
that howl that we just heard.
And the recording doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Interesting. So there's howls, there's prints, screams, trail cam images.
Hair samples.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we go to that site? Let's go to the site. Can you take us to the site where?
I'd be happy to. It's in my backyard.
All right, let's do it. Let's go, guys.
After leaving Eric's store, we took a 40-minute ride to the Franklin Parker Preserve in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. It was there that we checked out the sighting of a juvenile Bigfoot from a couple of years earlier.
Mark?
Hey,
Mark,
Eric.
how you doing, man? Coincidence.
How's it going,
What the
man?
hell? You scared the hell out of
What the
us.
hell are you doing out here in the Pine
Well,
Barrens?
we're searching some Bigfoot sightings down here. This is Eric Spinner, and major sightings down here. What are you doing down here?
Well, we've actually been getting a lot of reports at the Weird New Jersey home office about Bigfoot out here in the Pines, too, so I figured I'd come down and see what's up.
Listen, you're here. You want to tag along?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be great. So there's been a lot of juvenile Bigfoot sightings, which to me is much more odd sounding because
Well, they don't start out 7 feet tall.
Exactly. But is there a family living down here? That's the other thing. Now I know multiple, right? And I know over the years you've had so many stories, and you've encountered so many people with so many wild stories.
Yeah.
What's something that you could tell us about
Well,
here?
it's funny, you know, people always associate the Pine Barrens with the Jersey Devil, and then they think of, Bigfoot as being more a creature of the northwest part of the state. Mm-hmm. But we really have a surprising number of Bigfoot sightings down here in the Pines, and really credible ones. You know, you have a lot of military bases down here, so we get military personnel driving.
Wow.
We get park rangers, police. You know, these are really credible witnesses that you can rely on their testimony, because not only they have no reason to fabricate something for us, but they'd probably get in trouble if they did.
Exactly.
As an experienced researcher, Eric took some time to show us what to look for when searching for Bigfoot. Broken tree limbs are often Bigfoot sign. We discovered a tree broken at a very weird angle. Bigfoot sign? Possibly.
It's the same sorts of descriptions of the animal that you'd get from any other place. It doesn't look any different than any other Bigfoot, but it is, this is a habitat for it.
You know I mentioned this to you, maybe, and I think I had mentioned it to you too, but could the Jersey Devil be a Bigfoot? Could people be misidentifying?
I think that the flying thing sets it apart.
That's true.
Well,
I don't think
except
Bigfoot's...
though they do leap, and I've had witnesses tell me they leap 25 yards.
The Garden State might just be a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings. The latest from a couple in Pine Barrens. They claim to have spotted the ape-like creature while driving past a heavily wooded area. They say it ran onto the road before disappearing into the forest on April 7th. The Asbury Park Press says this is the latest of what have been nearly 70 Bigfoot sightings across New Jersey since 1966.
And anyway, we get on there, we cruise around on the dirt roads a little bit more, looking for like turkeys and deer and stuff. And her eyes get really big. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, what? She's like, I just saw something. And I was like, what did you see? And she's like, I saw something jump across the road. So I told her real quick to stop. And I could hear something running through the woods. And then I heard something jump into water.
It's fascinating to me too, and the vocalizations that you've gotten down here. And I'm wondering if a lot of these
houses around here might have, stories to tell too.
I think a lot of people are reluctant to even tell their stories because they don't want to be thought of as nuts, But that's where Weird New Jersey has always been like an outlet for people. And we had this great letter from down here from somebody who had an experience in the mid-'70s, and they never told anybody. But they were out riding horses, this woman with her daughter. They had a terrifying experience down here where they were riding the horses and they came upon a very tall Bigfoot that was actually scratching its back against a tree. You've seen bears do that. Sure. And I guess because of the size of the horses and the two horses, they must have felt outnumbered or just shocked or whatever. So it charged them, actually getting to the point where it was close enough to like grab a horse's tail, and then they took off. When they reported to the police came and it actually appeared again while the police were there. So you have 3 corroborating witnesses, and they sat on the story since 1976 before telling it. And the mother and daughter are both on the same page with what they saw.
How long was it from when they encountered this?
It was about 40 years.
40 years, my God. I know we've been talking about it, but I think the next investigation we should do is the UFO over the reservoir back in the 60s. Wanacue.
That was that's the most amazing UFO sighting I've ever heard of. Barn, forget Roswell.
Yeah.
There's so many more witnesses here that saw this thing, and they were police chiefs, the town mayor. I mean, the fact that it was never blown up the way Roswell and Area 51 and all that, it staggers the mind.
Can we get onto the site? Can we see the site?
You have to give them a call and find out.
I'll give them a call for sure and find out, and I think that'll be our next one to do, because that's always been fascinating to me.
I just so happen to have a copy of Weird New Jersey in my truck. Do you mind giving me an autograph?
Absolutely, no problem.
All right. Mark, always a pleasure, man.
You too, man.
For more spooky stories in the Garden State, subscribe to Weird New Jersey magazine at weirdnj.com. Eric, what spot is this now?
Right here is where the juvenile was actually spotted on the roadside. It was crouched down, and the witness Mike was coming down the road, and he glanced over to the right at that other parking area just to get an idea of where he could park on a future hike. And out of the corner of his left eye, he saw what he thought was a groundhog. And then it stood up, and he said, wow, that's a huge groundhog. So he drove down the road here, and in his mind, he's wondering, what the heck did I just see?
It was right here.
Right here. And so he turned around right after that turn, came back, and about 40 yards away from the driveway here, he locked eyes with it. The individual turned and ran that way towards the swamp over there. And he said it ran faster than any of the kids on a 10 to 12-year-old baseball team.
Another Bigfoot sighting here in the Pine Barrens. Unbelievable. I think what we need to do is we need to come back, and we have to come back at night, because I think that's when we're going to get more evidence.
Action.
But at least we know, and we've heard the story firsthand from you of what's going on here.
So we're chugging along, doing about 50, 55 miles an hour. There's nobody else out, nobody on the road. And we come up, to this place up ahead that I'm going to show you. And this thing darted out from the right-hand side, right in front of my vehicle.
We arrived at the location, and Eric gave us a chilling account of what happened.
Trail takes you back into the development. This thing charged out doing 30 miles an hour.
Right here.
Right here. I slam on my brakes. She slides forward. The water sprays. And she says, what the F was that? And I went, deer. And she goes, no, it wasn't. So I was actually a dead deer in the road right ahead of where your car's parked.
So maybe he was trying to get the deer.
Maybe. Who knows? Personally, I think these creatures are opportunists. And so they're going to take advantage of people leaving food out for their pets or animals.
True.
But it's cool because this chain link fence, I want to proceed real quick. It takes you straight back into this neighborhood here. We're talking civilization. So the funny thing is, afterwards, this tree was left in the pathway here. I'm wondering if they did it to keep Bigfoot from running through their development.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
The mystery deepens. What is going on around here? What's going on around here, Eric?
Hopefully activity.
Well, once people see this video, hopefully they'll come forward with some more stories.
Absolutely.
So I think that'd be good. Eric, again, man, what a pleasure. Thank you, man.
Great to
Appreciate
see
it.
you.
Absolutely. The mystery deepens. I don't know what's going on here in the Pine Barrens, but I'm glad we found out today. We got a lot more stories. We got a lot more investigating.